going on, gang? It's Goo. Thanks so much for joining me once again in my mystifying dojo. Today we're going to head down to Club 24 and meet with a good friend of mine to demonstrate my very popular assisted stretching routine. Before we head down to the gym, I just want to briefly talk about the many benefits associated with stretching. Stay tuned to learn some new and very useful information about stretching. Much love, much hugs. Research studies on hamstring injuries have shown that those people with the lowest flexibility have the greatest chance of injury. Interestingly, the type of increased flexibility needed for reducing injury did not come from doing stretch exercises right before the activity. Rather, the increased flexibility required for fewer injuries came only from doing weeks of stretch training. Intensity is always a critical factor when you want changes and improvements to come from an exercise program. In a stretching routine, intensity is controlled by the amount of pain associated with the stretch. Using a pain scale from 0 to 10, initial pain is light and usually dissipates as the time of the stretching is extended. Research studies have shown that heavier stretches rather than lighter stretches provide greater improvements in flexibility and strength. Thus, you are the key to your own success and how well you're able to monitor the stretch intensity and tolerate the pain level. So that's going to determine how quick and how large the improvements will be that you're making. The different types of stretching are static, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, also known as PNF, ballistic, and dynamic. Static stretches can be done either passively or actively. Today's stretch will be considered passive stretching, which requires an outside force to move the joints through their full range of motion. The outside resistance can be from yourself, a partner, or even gravity. You can achieve a greater range of motion passively stretching, but there is also a greater risk of injury due to the stretch not being controlled by the muscles themselves. So breathing and listening to the flow of your body is crucial during this type of stretching. The fascia is a very tough tissue and does not allow the muscle much room to expand. Take this example. You try to blow a balloon up inside of another balloon. When the balloon inside grows and touches the second balloon, it will be way harder for you to keep going and blowing up the balloons. No matter how well you train and how great your nutrition is, the fascia will stop your muscles from growing. That's why stretching is the solution. Fascial stretching is more rigorous than regular stretching, but the results can be amazing. When you stretch hard enough to cause the fascia to expand, you will really feel it. When you are stretching the fascia, you should feel a powerful pulling sensation and the pressure as the muscle works against the fascia to expand it. Stretching elongates the fascia, a strong protective sheath of connective tissue covering all muscles and their cells, allowing the muscle underneath room in which to grow. Fascia tissue can become thick and tough if the muscles are not stretched and are subjected to a limited range of motion. The best time to stretch the fascia is when the muscles are very warm and pumped up. This occurs during or after the workout, so stretch between and after sets at the end of your training session. Because of the complexity of muscle attachments, many stretching exercises simultaneously affect a variety of muscle groups in the body and stretch the muscle groups around multiple joints. Thus, a small change in body position can change the nature of a stretch on any particular muscle. To get the maximal stretching benefit in any muscle, it is helpful to know the joint movements that each muscle can do. Putting the joint through the full range of each motion allows for maximal stretching. Stretching increases flexibility, giving the muscles and joints a greater range of motion. It can prevent muscle soreness and promote faster recovery between workouts, helping to release lactic acid from the muscle cells into the bloodstream so that it does not hinder further muscle contraction. Therefore, stretching during your workout may enable you to train harder and longer. Stretching improves posture as well, giving the body a more athletic, graceful appearance instead of the clumsy, awkward gait that many bodybuilders and weightlifters develop. Alright fam, we're about to head down to Club 24 and meet with my boy Harrison, aka Aesthetic HG, aka Game of Girth, aka Girth Brooks. H is one of the best known bodybuilders in my city, and he's really building a name for himself as a reputable source for lifting and diet programs. Over the years, I've seen H change so many bodies for the better, and I really commend him for his knowledge, professionalism, and his swag. Dude trains like an absolute animal, and it shows in his physique as well as his reputation. Currently, he's 8 weeks out from his next show, so he's really dialing in his training and his nutrition in order to put him in position to dominate that show. I figured today would be a great day to hit aesthetic with an assisted stretch so he could capitalize on the many aforementioned benefits associated with the service, my stretching service.
Homage got the vibe,
beautiful souls. Once again, thank you so much to H.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I've known this dude for years. He's a stud. He knows what he's doing. Hit him up if you haven't already, but the chances are if you're from this city, you already know him and you've worked with him and you've had good results. I've seen him change so many bodies. All right, fam. If it's not love, it's fear. And today, it was all love between me and H. I always love working with this dude. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. Follow him at aesthetic_HG on Instagram. Dude knows what he's doing. Check him out.
Aesthetic here. This is my first time getting a full body stretch from Eli. If you guys don't know, about 8 weeks out from a show right now, which it's tremendously important for me to get stretches like this as routinely as possible. I'm saying right now, not because like he's my boy, but if you guys need to be stretched or you're looking for any type of advancement or just flexibility to help you in the gym or just in regular life, come to this guy. I'm definitely sold. I'm gonna be seeing him 3 to 4 days a week, you know, just to help with my overall flexibility and just with your overall health as well. So I'm gonna kick it over to this guy.
H, that's what's up. And as a bodybuilder, as a big muscular dude, this stretching, the assisted, the passive style stretching, passive static stretching, it's really gonna stretch out his fascia and enable those muscle fibers and those muscles to grow. So really get him that extra hypertrophy, which is his sport, and obviously he knows what he's doing in that respect. My name's Guru, aka White Shaman, aka Natty Boo Boo, aka the Heated Blanket. And this is my boy Harrison, aka Aesthetic HG, aka Game of Girth, aka Girth Brooks.
Tim McGirth.
Tim McGirth. Dude, check this guy's out on Instagram at aesthetic_HG. And if you haven't already, sub to my channel so we can vibe together and I can teach you guys some cool stuff. Much love, much hugs. Peace.
I love Eli, but he's too funny.
Bro, I feel like he's bored right now.
Honestly, that's why they call me the Heated Blanket. You can't have a blanket and not get too close to this.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love the blanket.
Yeah. AKA the comforter.
But I did this like 3 or 4 times a week.